What if we told you that for the same budget you purchased a small home in Los Angeles, California, you could get a 5-bedroom, huge home in Nashville, Tennessee, and still have money for that vacation or the private schools you want to send your kids to? Today, we are going to talk about the cost of living in Nashville and compare it to Los Angeles, California, and see if this is the right place for you. If you've been thinking about making the move from LA to Nashville, then you want to see this video. So let's get started. And we are your Nashville real estate consultants.
I'm Erin Gillespie.
And I'm Scott Hardesty. We help people like you every single week. They reach out to us, so we would love you to be next. Book a call with us. Let us know what you're looking for. And also download our free Nashville relocation guide. It has all of the content you need to help you make a better decision when you're making the move to Nashville. But can't wait to meet you. But let's dive right in.
Yeah, well, so we're going to cover a number of different things. Housing itself, the different areas of tax savings, utilities and transportation, what traffic looks like, schools, family and entertainment costs, that type of thing, and comparables.
All the things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So first of all, housing. When we look at Los Angeles, you can get either a bungalow or maybe a condo with a waterfront view for about $2 million, or for a single family home, obviously depending on neighborhood, maybe $2 million might get you a 3,000 square foot home. Here in Nashville, that would get you a 5-bedroom, probably 4,500 square foot home, either in Davidson County or in Williamson County.
Yeah, you can get almost anything you wanted at that price. Of course, there's houses in the 3, 4, 5 million,
of
6
course,
millions
yes,
that you see on our channel a lot.
We do a lot of tours of those.
Yeah, but you have more options in Nashville with that budget, even $1 million budget. You know, we look, I mean, the median average of houses here is in the 400s, pushing 500,000.
487, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
but for example, we're in Sevier Park in 12 South. You wouldn't be able to find a house here
for 500,000 here.
Yeah, no, this is going to be $1 million. You might snag a rehab for under $1 million.
For under $1 million.
So we're kind of sticking in that range. But with that kind of budget, if you've made a lot of money on your home, or you have a lot of equity built up, there's just so many more options that you have here. And another cool thing we're talking about is just driving. I mean, you can go out, and we'll talk a little bit about these surrounding counties that are 30 minutes out of town, maybe 40, 45 minutes with traffic. But we know, I've been to LA, and you're stuck in traffic all day, and so you can actually get further out of town, get even more for your money, and probably drive the same amount of time as well.
Right.
We'll talk more about that later.
Exactly.
But just wanted to throw that in as we're talking about houses and the pricing.
Yeah, well, it's important. Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
And also, you mentioned this briefly, but we've done a lot of other videos touring great examples of these houses that are $2, $3, and $4 million. So if you're looking to really dive in and you're really considering a move, you might watch those videos to see exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, go down the rabbit hole. We got tons of.
Exactly.
We're out every week looking at new properties, new construction, and new homes like that. So yeah, the value for your dollar here, you can just stretch it, which is crazy.
Yes.
All right, so we got the houses
covered.
What's
so
next?
The next big topic, and this is huge, but taxes. Now, we are not accountants. We're not tax experts per se, but we know some general basic knowledge, and we live this every day. So the first big one is income tax. In California, income tax is up to 13.3%. In Tennessee, it is 0. We do not have an income tax here.
So huge. The
so
savings
huge, right? Up. So you're just keeping more of your paycheck every single day. That's as simple as it comes to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So you get more for your money on the housing. You don't have a state income tax. That's something to think about too. So if you're making, $200,000 in LA versus $200,000 in Nashville,
you're just keeping that much more of your hard-earned money.
You said so 13%,
13.3%.
Yeah.
Then the next big one is sales tax. So in LA, that's a little bit more similar, but LA can be between 9.5 and 10.25% sales tax. Here in Davidson County, or in Middle Tennessee, I should say, it's 9.25%.
Yeah, it's about the same sales tax.
It's about the same, but with sales tax, you have to consume something to be paying it. So you could choose to not buy the item and not pay the sales tax.
Right.
The next big one is the mansion tax and transfer tax.
Yes.
You want to speak on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I've just done a little bit of research on this. If you live in LA, you obviously know more about this than I do, but what I've heard about this, so let's say if you purchase a $5 million home, and I can't remember even what the minimum is. It's a couple $1 million for the purchase price to have you qualify for the mansion tax.
Right.
But let's say if you purchase it for $5 million, and then 5 years later you sell it
at the exact same price.
Same
let's
price,
say it
$5
didn't
million.
increase in value at all.
No capital,
right?
no equity in the home from the sales price. You still have to pay that tax on the $5 million. So you could be losing money, and it's
and
like
what is that?
6 figures.
Yeah, what is that tax percentage?
Yeah, I'll have to look.
I think it's 4%.
4%.
It's 4%. So that means on a $5 million home, you're paying $240,000 in tax just to transfer it, just to sell the house.
Even if you made no profit.
Even if you made no profit and had no gains on the house at all.
So that's not even including the capital gains tax that you could potentially pay if you did have profits over the married status or single status that you have. So
that's huge. I mean, $240,000 is huge on $5 million.
Yeah. So you're taking that, you have the risk of taking that hit. Whereas in Nashville, in all of the counties in Middle Tennessee, we don't have that.
Well, we have a flat tax. It's 0.37%.
Yeah, but no
0.37.
And that's on any house, whatever
and
price.
That's more
matter.
Just to transfer it, right? That's like filing with the city and the county and recording the deed and that type of thing.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The fourth subcategory is going to be your property taxes. So property taxes in LA County are a lot higher than they are here in Nashville and Davidson County and other surrounding counties. For example, if you just take, for round numbers, if you take $1 million, you're going to be paying $12,000 in property taxes in LA.
A year.
That's
every
annually.
year. Yeah.
Right. In comparison, if you're in Davidson County, which is Nashville proper, you're going to be paying about $7,000 in property tax for that same price home. You're going to get a better home for that price, and then you're going to pay a little over half of what it would be in LA.
That's after they've raised taxes in Davidson County, because they've raised them a couple times.
They've raised them a couple times over the last number of years.
Yeah.
They do a reassessment every 4 years here. So we've had some raises over the last 10 years.
Yeah, yeah. And, I will say, I mean, those taxes will probably continue to rise some. We have a new Tennessee Titans stadium that's coming in, and, some remodeling.
We won't get into the Titans
hockey
players.
Yeah, no, let's not talk about them. But they're remodeling Bridgestone Arena, the hockey, the hockey stadium.
Right.
So there are some taxes,
ongoing improvements that are turning into some property taxes, right?
Even still, we're still way below, where LA is right now.
Exactly. And then if you move outside of Davidson County into Williamson County, which we tour a lot of homes on our channel here in Williamson County, those are actually even less. So on that same $1 million price point, Williamson County taxes would be $4,000 annually.
Wow.
So if you're comparing $4,000 to $12,000, huge savings there.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we're taking a $2 million house, let's say, you're talking about $24,000 annually versus $8,000.
Yeah. Which, another thing about that is when you get into the school system, a lot of people move out from Nashville to Williamson County for the schools because they're just some of the best in the state. Some ranked nationally. Some people in Nashville want to pay for the private schools.
Right.
But if you get into some of these other counties that have a really good public school system, I'm not saying anything bad about Nashville public school system, but just from what clients tell us, right? Then you save that money on private schools as well. So you save money on the taxes and this piece.
Exactly.
So it just continues. The savings just continue to add up over time.
Yes. And speaking to that too, so private schools, the average in LA for private schools is $18,000. If you're looking in Nashville for private schools, you're looking at between $20,000 and $35,000 a year.
Yeah. So a little more.
Again, look at Williamson County and see if you might be able to save that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just the trade-off.
Yeah. So and then if you get into some of these other counties, the taxes keep going down. And again, you're not that far away from Nashville. If you're working in Nashville,
so if
you're
you
already
want to
used
drive,
to the traffic.
say 30 minutes and save thousands and thousands of dollars, it might be worth it.
Yeah. And again, like over time, these things, they compound over time, year over year over year. You're saving this money. And so you have, just gives you the freedom and the options to save and to do things that you really want to do that you just can't really do when you get stuck in a place like LA, which I love LA, but is what
Right.
it is. But stick around to the end because we're going to talk about the things that matter more than money that you can't really put a price tag on.
Exactly.
We have a few more for you here. So
Yes.
what else do we have?
So talking about your home utilities, I actually feel like they probably are about even with LA, even though we do spend a little bit more in electricity here because it gets so hot in the summer. Our average is higher because we have to air condition so much.
Yeah.
So that compared to LA is a little bit higher, but then gas bills for heating your house are lower. So I feel like it kind of evens out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Most houses have the electric for the air conditioner and then the gas for the heater. Sometimes it's electric for everything, but it just depends on the house.
But I just think it's probably about the same for that.
Yeah.
But then when you talk about the fuel for your car, average gas prices in LA are $4.85. Now comment and let us know if that's true. That's what we're reading. Let us know your experience with that. But in Nashville, it's $2.86 per gallon. So
I mean, it's just,
again, another savings, and your commute is less.
Yeah, it can be less. So it's these little things that add up over time, right? The
Right.
little things and big things that add up over time.
Exactly.
Are you convinced yet? Have we convinced you that we want you here yet?
That's right. Exactly.
All right, what's next?
This has the cost of childcare being approximately $1,000 per month per child in LA. Here, it's between $800 and $900 a month. So another little savings, couple $100 here and there, little savings.
All right, so now we come to the things that money can't buy, quality of life. Let's talk about that.
Yes. So LA has beaches, they have glamour, but Nashville, in contrast or in comparison, has friendlier vibes, shorter commutes. The average is about 35 minutes versus 47 minutes in LA.
Okay.
And then we have the live music scene.
Yeah.
So free shows on every corner, generally less crime. If you look at the statistics, there's less crime here. And we have definitely a family first culture.
Yeah.
And I experience this with my kids all the time. Statistically, they say that this makes all of these things together make people in Nashville 20 to 30% happier than in other areas of the country.
So we don't have the ocean, which we love, right? Love to go to.
Yeah.
But we have all these other things. So for you, it's like, what's most important to you?
Right. It's not going to
make the
speak to
decision?
everyone. Of course, everyone is different and everyone values different things. So these are just the stats that we are finding, but you may have a different opinion.
But science shows that you will be happier here in Nashville, Tennessee. We share that experience. I've had family move from California to Middle Tennessee, down a little bit south of town, and they love it. I get that feedback a lot. It's just, it was a great decision. Of course, we have people leaving here as well,
right?
But
Sure.
overall, we get really good feedback from people who we sell houses to here in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, I've sold a number of houses to California clients as well, and these particular clients that I'm thinking of, we get together for coffee. We stay in touch. We have a great time and love hanging out. So we get coffee probably twice a year or so just to catch up and see how everything's going. And they tell me all the time this was the best move they've ever made.
Yeah.
They just love it.
And we're landlocked, but we have lakes. We have Percy Priest. We have Old Hickory. We have Tim's Ford Lake about an hour and a half away. We have Center Hill about 2 hours away. And then we have Orange Beach. We have the Gulf Coast about 6 hours away.
Right.
So that's probably the closest salt water that you can get. So that is the trade-off. The weather, obviously, we get a lot of rain. We get some tornadoes and all that fun stuff. But yeah, well, I hope this helps you make the decision when you're trying to figure out whether to move to Nashville or not. And again, download our free Nashville relocation guide for you. Take advantage of that. We spent a lot of time creating that for you, so download that. More importantly, book a call with us. We'd love to meet you and hear more about what you're looking to do here in Nashville, Tennessee. We'll see you next time.
Can't wait to talk to you. And also, this is the first, comparing LA to Nashville is the first of a series that we're going to do. So if you have a specific city that you would like to hear us compare and go into these details, please leave a comment or reach out to us, and we're happy to do that for our next video.
Absolutely. All right, see you next time.
Bye.